Hi, so it's Brian, the 70-year-old golfer, and today I've just arrived at Ping's European Tour Fitting Centre based in Gainsborough in the UK. And what have I come for? Well, I've actually come for a club fitting. So my background, I've basically tried out the clubs which I think would be right for me. Luckily from my pro shop when they were first launched. I won't say what they are actually, but one of them is the G430 driver. So why have I come for a fitting? Well, 4 years ago, I had a set of I200s. I was hitting them well, and I actually, at the age of 65, I actually got my handicap down to 9. And what happened is I decided that I was going to change those clubs out. So I went for a fitting actually 4 years ago. And I got fitted for the i500s, which were right for me at the time. Why were they right for me? Well, I used to put a lot of spin on the ball. And I was very static in my stance. And why was that happening? Well, I didn't know it at the time, but what I thought was a groin strain turned out to be the fact that I needed a total hip replacement, which I had done 2 years ago. And I'm 70 now. I've got my index is actually 9.0 as we start the year. It's the 3rd of April today. And basically what I'm thinking I need now is to actually play to a reasonable standard is a bit more forgiveness than the i500s are giving me. So specification wise, for those people who want to know these ins and outs, my i500s have got a dynamic goal shaft on the dynamic goal 105, which is listed as a regular shaft, but it is slightly stiff. And at the time I was fitted for that shaft because it took some spin off the ball. And my driver, interesting enough, is a dynamic goal shaft as well. Once again, it was designed when I was fitted for it to take some spin. And to give you some idea what my driver is the G410 current driver with 9 degrees aloft. And you might say that's bonkers for a 70-year-old to be hitting, and that's why I've come for a fitting, because I used to hit driver really high, and that's why I really needed to have this. The loft at the time was perfect for me, so that's why I've come for the fitting. Hopefully I'll be able to tell you how I get on. I'm in my mind at the moment, I am not setting myself that I need certain clubs. I'm going to let the fitter decide. The other thing what's happened as well is after the hip replacement, I'd found that I'd actually been swinging very flat-footed for quite some while to take the pain out of the hip. Well, that's another reason why I now want to make sure that I've got the right shaft, because now I've got a lot more, the rotation is back and everything. So that's for the reason for the fitting. So let's go and check the place out. I have been to Ping before, but let's check it out and see how we do. So after a quick check-in with the pro shop and being given the option to go on the range with free balls, it was a quick trip to the range where, quite honestly, I wasn't hitting it that well. But at least I had the chance to warm up before I then reported into the fitting centre for my date at 1 o'clock. Well, the first thing you see as you walk into the actual fitting centre is the amazing number of putters on display, and obviously there's the Ping putting lab where you can actually get fitted for a putter using some of the facilities there. So good facilities overall, just on the putting alone. Then we get to the main fitting centre. So absolutely brilliant. Every single head and shaft that's available to the Ping fitters is on display, ready for you to use. And also you use Titleist Pro V1 balls to hit with. All the bays open out onto the range, so you not only see what's happening on a TrackMan, but you also are hitting out into the distance. You can see the shape of your flight, the height of your flight, and basically that's what I wanted from a fitting experience, the ability to see the ball in the air, and obviously to see the TrackMan data that backed it up. Hi, so it's Brian again, and I've just come out of the fitting with Ping. Some very interesting results, and it proves really what a good fitting can actually do for you. So the first thing about the Ping fitting, it's a great experience, warming up on the range beforehand and then going in for the fitting. I personally wasn't hitting the ball that well, and I felt that I wasn't getting the swing speed I've normally been getting. However, what was the results? After quite a lot of deliberation, there's no doubt about it, I know the Ping G430 irons have got a stronger loft than my existing i500 irons. My i500 7 irons 31 degrees, and the Ping is 29.5. But what did it make on the strike? Very interesting. I was launching the G430 club with the shaft in, which is no doubt suited me. Not only 18 feet higher than my existing 7 iron, but I was also getting more distance and the ball was stopping quicker, which is strange, but it shows you really what the shaft can actually do for you. So what shaft is it? Well, mine's the one that's suited me is the Alta CB Black, which is a graphite shaft. It's a regular shaft, but it's in graphite, so it's not got the whippiness of like a senior graphite shaft, which I'm glad about really, because when I start to hit the ball well, I know it'll perform well. So G430 7 iron, definitely outperforming my i500 on height and stopping and distance, and I'm talking picking up 10 yards here. So, but I know people will say, well, that's because of the 29.5 degree loft. Well, no, because it's going higher than my existing 7 iron. So that's one thing. So then we got onto the driver and the 3-wood. And definitely with the driver, I was performing better with the G430 driver than my existing one. Why was it performing better? Well, number one, I was getting more distance, but also I went to a 10.5 degree loft of driver, so I was actually carrying the ball further and still getting more distance. Tried quite a few shafts in it, and certainly it's a hazardous smoke shaft that is the right one for me. When I don't quite release the club, the ball goes slightly right. When I release it too much, I found it was actually going a bit left. But certainly on the dispersion, it was very, very tight, a lot tighter than my existing driver. So 3-wood wise, it's actually the normal regular CB65 shaft, Alta shaft for me, hitting the 3-wood really well. Was it going further than my existing 3-wood? No, but I wasn't swinging as well. And my existing 3 wood, I don't hit it far, 210 if I'm lucky. But you know what? The G433 wood, I was getting 210 out of it easily, and I wasn't hitting it well. But it was going straight. And finally, I tried a 5 wood. I've not had a 5 wood for 30 years. Went away from 5 woods when, oh God, I forgot whose it was I had. I think it was Petron, actually. Shows how long ago. And I couldn't believe the how well I was hitting the 5 wood. Yes, we know it's got a lot more loft on it. Using the CB shaft. And basically, very high launch and stopping very quickly. So what would I choose? Well, if I had the budget, I would definitely still go for 3 wood, because I can sometimes hit 3 wood for tea, and I've seen how it's performing for me. So for me though, it looks like I will be going for the driver and I will be going for the irons. So that's me. You may disagree with me what I'm saying about, but I'm the one who's been here, seeing it on TrackMan, seeing the results, seeing the tighter dispersion I'm getting, and that's what I want. I never really came here looking for distance, because as a 70-year-old, I'm never going to get that distance, especially when I'm trying to perform in somebody. Whereas when I'm on the course, playing in comps, I'm performing for myself. So, sorry it's been a long speech, guys, but that's the experience, and I really do believe that fitting matters. So good luck, and remember, you don't have to watch these. They're just a 70-year-old golfer rambling away. See ya.